So far we've thought about a couple of ways that you shouldn't use your compass. But what if you're on a really long walk? You say, you're doing your big D of E expedition and you're absolutely determined to get where you're going. You are gonna get there no matter what. Your bag's heavy, your legs are tired, they're starting to cramp. Just had a bit of that on the top there. And the rain is pouring down. It's not today, which I'm very glad about. And you check your compass. You want to make sure that you're heading in the right way, you're on the right track, the path's right. And you check the map and you see you've got a long way to go yet. So do you give up? Do you pack it in? Just sit down on the mountainside and say, I'm not going to get there, I can't be bothered? Or do you think about how good it'll be when you finally get to where you're going and you can set your tent up and enjoy a good night's sleep? Even when the journey is hard, it's worth thinking about where you're going, isn't it? Follow the compass to the destination. In this last video, we're thinking about the people who responded to Jesus, not with indifference, not with hatred, but with worship. We don't really know all that much about the wise men or the magi, whatever we want to call them, other than that they were wise men or magi, and they came from the east. These were the astronomers of their time. They studied the stars. They saw the movement of the planets and followed it on charts and all sorts. Somehow, we don't know how, but they realized that a certain star was a compass. It was showing them where the one who'd been born king of the Jews was. Perhaps they were from Babylon or Persia and they knew Jewish people there who told them some of this. We don't know, but they knew that this star was going to lead them there. And so they came this long way. It was a long journey, specifically to worship Jesus. That was why they weren't doing their shopping that we know. They came to worship Jesus. That means that they came to acknowledge that he was king. They came to acknowledge that he wasn't just any king, but that he was a king worth leaving their own country for, a king worth travelling across half the world just to pay a visit. They came all that way just to get a glimpse of him. And they gave the best they had. Gold, frankincense and myrrh. These were expensive gifts. These were gifts fit for a king. Now, these foreigners, however many of them there were, seemed to have a better idea of who Jesus is than any of the locals. They know what he's worth in a way that the chief priests and the teachers of the law, in a way that King Herod don't. They get it. They gave the best they had. And they went home. That was it. They came, they worshipped, and they left. But they didn't go home disappointed. All that way, just to worship, in a time when long journeys were dangerous. I mean, I'm out for a walk now, and it could be dangerous. It's icy underfoot. I could slip and fall, but there's the mountain rescue. If I get in trouble, we've got helicopters to airlift me out if I need to. But they didn't have any of that in those days. The roads were rocky and dusty. There were bandits who could have robbed them. I mean, they had gold and frankincense and myrrh. If anyone's going to rob you, they're the guys to rob. There weren't service stations on the way. You couldn't stop at a Costa's or a Mackie D's. You had to take food with you or buy it on the way. For all the risks, for all this journey, this difficult journey must have cost them, they went away happy because they went home having met God. Anyone who's followed this Christmas compass to Jesus will tell you the same. It isn't easy being a Christian. It isn't easy for us to admit that we're messed up and need someone else to save us. It isn't easy surrendering our lives to someone else. It isn't easy giving up what we have, the money, the time, the energy to worship him. But I'll tell you this, it is absolutely worth it. There is no one like Jesus. There is no other king who is worth worshipping. There is no other God who can save. There's no one to whom you can give and give and give and still come away richer than when you started. Because Jesus is the only one who can give everlasting life. There's no one else who, once you found him, will never leave you, will never give up on you. So if you don't know how to find Jesus, ask someone who does. Read the Bible for yourself and find out. Go and worship him.